I'm waiting for some awesome people, hopefully some awesome people to join. All right. It's a nice day here. I mean, I'll say it's nice. It's kind of gloomy, but that's okay. It's in the high 60s, maybe low 70s. I would like it if it was a sunny day, but that's all right. We've been getting lots of rain here lately, which has been awesome for our gardening. Totally awesome. I've got my coffee cup, my big cup, ready to go. Oh, yeah. My band aid keeps falling off. Maybe I'll just take it off. Got a pretty good cut yesterday. Not being smart, not wearing gloves while gardening. I was pulling out some vegetation and I think I pulled out some sorghum grass or something and sliced myself pretty good. Gel Bait and Tackle Outdoors, what's up? I'm like number 2. What is I meant? I figured that's what you meant or something like that. First goal for number of likes is 7. So let's go. If you have not hit the like, if you're playing this, please hit the like. It's kind and it's free. It takes a moment. It's super easy. All right. I'm just doing some things. Don't mind me, folks. All right. Hmm. Hopefully we'll get some awesome people. To join. Uh-oh. Oh, well. You need to brand and market that mega mug. Yeah. Whoa, I'm seeing 17 accounts playing this right now. Let's go, let's grow. If you're scrolling, stop scrolling, hang out with me. We've got Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors in the chat. Staying active. Thank you for that, Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. 3 likes. First goal is 7. So please hit it. Even if you're passing through, throw a like our way. It's free. It's kind. It's easy. Just hit that like, please. All right. All right. If you're scrolling and if you're a content creator who is scrolling, stop scrolling. I think you will have the opportunity to make some quality connections to people that have their own channels, their own content, who are very supportive people, the type of people you should want to be connected to in order to grow your channels. Have you ever grown Kremlin black tomatoes? No. That sounds cool though. Black tomatoes, very cool. We might have some Cherokee purple tomatoes growing. I'm pretty sure we planted some seeds for that variety, but I don't know if I'm not sure which tomato plants or what. All right, if you're here playing this, just say hello in the chat. Say what's up. Say hello. Introduce yourselves. If you're a creator, feel free to drop a link or links to promote your channel. It had a thick skin and did not like it. Oh, hmm. I feel like the thick skin might be nice for like slicing tomatoes, like for sandwiches or just eating by themselves, maybe. Even though I assume that might make it more tart. That might be the word if it has a thicker skin. I really hope we have some cherry tomatoes growing. We've grown sweetie variety or sweetie. I don't think sweetie pie. Sweetie might be just the name of the variety, and we've done very well with that variety for cherry tomatoes. They produce really well, and the tomatoes are absolutely delicious. I think my wife and slash or I refer to them as ketchup tomatoes. They taste like ketchup. They're really good. Sweetie variety. Highly recommend growing that variety. It's an heirloom variety, which I believe, actually, no, I believe there are genetically modified tomatoes, sadly. But it is I would think I was going to say most of all tomatoes are non-GMO, but I think that's not true, actually. I think they do have, GMO tomatoes out there. It had a best Roma tomatoes. Well, like Roma, I believe, is its own variety. I really like San Marzano, as far as what might be considered like a paste tomato, and slash or a sauce tomato. San Marzano, that's where it's at. All the Italian Americans out there, a lot of you Italian Americans know what's up with San Marzano. That is the coveted, sought after tomato for tomato sauce. San Marzano. They are awesome. Roma tomatoes are also a popular variety for sauces. Very, very good. There are slicer tomatoes, which are typically used for eating by themselves, having on sandwiches. And then there are paste tomatoes, tomatoes that don't have as many seeds and that are typically better for sauces. However, you can make an absolutely amazing sauce with your slicer tomatoes. My wife and I were blessed with some, gifted with some tomatoes recently, and they were larger, what might be called slicer tomatoes, and we just sauteed them, cooked them down into a beautiful, very simple sauce. Maybe it would be considered a pomodoro. I think pomodoro might just be like a simple sauce. Absolutely delicious, strong tomato flavor. Poison Ivy, who do you pick in Smash Bros? Is that a video game? Let me know. Poison Ivy, are you talking about a video? Okay. I don't know. I think I may have actually played that before. And if so, I don't recall which character I typically choose, if I typically chose any. Which character do you like for Smash Bros? Elite Brown Cameraman 21, welcome in, and welcome in, Poison Ivy. Elite Brown Cameraman wrote yes. I assume that might have been about my question about if it was a video game or not. I'm seeing 11 accounts playing this right now. That's awesome. Stop scrolling. If you're scrolling, stop. Hang out. We'll have some fun. You might learn something. You might laugh. Maybe both. Hang out here. Hang out here. You have the opportunity to play this live stream and support my family and I as we, on our YouTube journey, try to educate people all around the world about self-sufficiency, cooking, gardening, raising livestock, all kinds of different things. And we also throw out some life wisdom on occasion. Well, during live streams, I frequently do that. My unsolicited advice that comes from a lot of research and a very experienced life. I get super confused on what onions to use on what recipes. Any hints or ideas to share? That's an awesome question. Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors, you have great questions, man. So, when eating raw, I highly recommend red onions. Red onions. They're great. They look beautiful, but they have a great, great flavor for eating raw. As far as cooking, I like the sweet onions. I like the yellow varieties. Those are great. They saute down beautifully, and they have a natural sweetness when you cook them down. White onions are, I mean, you could use all onions for everything. I mean, but I really like red onions for salads. Yeah, raw red onions. Cooking, yellow, white, both for whatever. But you could use them all for whatever. And I think there's really only kind of, in my opinion, I could be incorrect, only really kind of minor flavor differences. Elite Brown cameraman said hi. I'm not sure who that hello was to, but thank you for staying active in the chat. Do you cook? Absolutely. When the live stream's done, I don't want anyone to stop playing this live stream. I want you here, hanging out, chilling with me, chilling with Creative Redundancy, Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. Hang with us. And then after the live stream, please check out our previous videos. We have long form content and short form content having to do with cooking. I believe I posted a video or videos. I believe videos about cooking, like how to cook a tomahawk steak, I think was one. How to pan sear steaks might have been another. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Were you knocking on one of the windows? Which one? Which one? Which window? Over here? Oh, okay. I'll be in soon, baby. I was talking to my wife's older son. CR, welcome in. Welcome in. I think I might not have welcomed you in. I just gave you a shout out or mentioned you or whatever. W, man. I'm assuming that means like win. So, Elite Brown Cameraman, where are you from? And I have two questions for you, Elite Brown Cameraman. Where are you from? And do you have content on your channel? And if you have commented on any of mine and my wife's videos and / or if you have been in any of our previous live streams, please pardon my memory for not remembering you. My wife and I meet lots of people on YouTube. It's hard to remember everybody. By the way, in an emergency for my area, right? I'm an emergency for my area. What do you mean, CR? I'm not understanding what you are talking about there, sir. Reading the chat. Elite Brown Cameraman. Italian. Wow. Are you from Italy? Is that what you mean? Shawnee Groves, welcome in. What's up? CR, what you doing online during your local emergency? Maybe I shouldn't laugh at that. Are you safe right now, CR? Maybe it's best not to be online right now. I want you to be here in this live stream. I'm definitely not kicking you out, brother, but be safe. What are you doing? What's going on? What's going on where you are, CR? Localized flooding break. Shawnee Groves wrote, he is on break, he says. Oh, I don't understand, CR. I'm better situated than others. CR, flooding is a long recovery. Whoa, what caused the flooding? Yes, W. I assume Elite Brown Cameraman might be letting me know, or whoever, that they are from Italy. Wow, stay safe, CR. Stay safe, man. I hope nobody died. I hope nobody was injured. Flooding could cause massive damage. And like Shawnee wrote, long-term recovery. I remember, perhaps vaguely, back in New York, there was the hurricane that came through. If I thought about it more, maybe I could remember. But in Long Island, maybe in the 5 boroughs as well, but in Long Island, it was like years, I think, of rebuild for people. People's basements and first floors got flooded out. It was a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. And here's the thing. I'm gonna digress, or if that, maybe this digressing, maybe not, but I'm gonna get into this. So what you might find is that certain areas typically prepare for certain things. Like in the Midwest, they might prepare for tornadoes. The Southeast might prepare for hurricanes. But when things happen that are not typical, they don't have the infrastructure and / or the emergency response for that. And things get really crazy really quick. Like my father was a United States Marine, and he had boot camp in Paris Island. And he talked about if they would even get a little bit of snow, I think it was like an inch or less or something, like everything would shut down. Like People were not used to that. They didn't have a whole fleet of plows ready to clear the roads and do certain things. And people were not used to driving in the snow. That's a skill. That's a straight up skill set. It's interesting how you can go to New York, in particular upstate New York, which people from Long Island and the five boroughs, which is the city, and Long Island's like the suburban sprawl, highly populated suburbs. A lot of it's highly populated suburbs. We refer people from Long Island and the five boroughs as the rest of New York State is upstate New York. They get a massive amount of snow. And a lot of those people are just used to driving in snow, even a lot of snow. But you go down south, those people, they have no clue. And I'm not picking on them. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but they don't have a clue, a lot of them. I'm going to be careful with my words about how to handle driving in the snow. So I find that when certain areas, they're just not ready for certain things. And I might have brought that up because Long Island, it's far enough northeast that they don't typically get hit with hurricanes. But when they got hit, it actually wasn't even a hurricane now that I think about it. By the time it hit, I think by the time it hit, it was like just a tropical storm. Quote, just a tropical storm caused crazy amounts of damage. And people were not ready. They weren't ready. Let me read the chat. Elite Brown Cameraman wrote, yo, sub, everybody. Thank you, Elite Brown Cameraman 21, for writing that. That was awesome of you to write that. Thank you so much. You seem like you're pretty cool, Elite Brown Cameraman. You might fit in here. We got a good crew. We got CR, CR. At least some of you folks might not know who I'm talking about. When I say CR, I'm talking about Creative Redundancy. He's a great guy, great channel. We got Creative Redundancy in the house. Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors in the house. We got Shawnee Grows in the house. We got some of my favorite people here right now. So Elite Brown Cameraman, however you ended up here, I'm happy you're here because you're in the chat with some really cool people. Really cool people. People that I have a lot of love for. They're my people. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let me read some chat. CR, stationary storm. I'm not sure what that means. House is being brought to my foundation tomorrow. Like they're knocking your house down to the foundation? Is that what you mean, Shawnee? I got pumps, shop vacs running. Oh, pumps are... See, I'm going to screenshot that. That is actually... I'm not sure if you bought one, rented one, or whatever, but pumps, I believe at least some of them might be known as sump pumps. If you live in an area that flooding happens, a pump is an amazing prep to have. Think about it. It's something a lot of people don't necessarily think of. I may have never thought of it, or maybe thought of it one or more times, probably rarely if I've ever thought of it, but a water pump would be a really great thing to have. It could prevent thousands and thousands of dollars of damage. And more important than property getting damaged, it could maybe save a life or save lives. Maybe prevent a person or people from being injured. But a pump is a really great thing to have. This morning I made meatloaf, mashed potatoes, beef enchiladas, cheesy beef veggie noodle hot dish. Let's go, Shawnee. Clean the pool out. Now I'm doing garden chores. Great job. Hopefully I'll remember in a little bit to mention how awesome my Father's Day was yesterday. And to any people that are playing this right now who are fathers, as in fathers who are involved in the life of your child if you have a child, or lives of your children if you have children, happy belated Father's Day. Fathers are so important. Contrary to what a lot of pop culture, American culture, to be specific, says, fathers are needed. Strong, active, intentional fathers are needed for a strong family and therefore a strong society. And I could get into proving that those aforementioned statements with historical proof, my observational truth, what I've learned and observed. But I probably won't get into proving my aforementioned points right at this moment. Dajlan Dajlanslanji. Pardon the pronunciation if I pronounced that incorrectly. Do you know Albania? Well, I might not be able to point it out on a map. I believe it is perhaps in the Near East, perhaps in the Mediterranean, or in the Balkan region, Southeast Europe. I'm from Albania. Well, welcome in from Albania. And thank you so much for commenting and writing where you're from. Thank you. Elite Brown Cameraman 21 wrote, please sub. Thank you so much, Elite Brown Cameraman. See, that is a selfless, kind thing to write. That shows me a lot about your character. When you help others, when you promote others, moral ventures, moral businesses, don't support immoral stuff. When you help other people in there, with their, whatever the correct way to say that is, moral endeavors, that's awesome. That's awesome. So many people get such tunnel vision. Understandably, everybody is selfish at least sometimes, myself included. But a lot of people, they get so focused on what they are doing, their endeavors, their activities, that they don't even think of helping others, right? It's like a blinder. It's like blinders or tunnel vision. And it's understandable. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. We're navigating life. Life is challenging at times. And we want to grow our own businesses. We want to grow our YouTube channels. We want to do the things, right? We get so focused on what we are doing that we don't do the very good thing, which is help other people, and the very smart thing, which is helping other people, because at least some other people, at least sometimes, will subscribe to the law of reciprocity and return support. What's the expression? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Is that the expression or something like that, right? Let me know the expression, the age-old expression, if it's called an age-old expression, in the comments below. I'm trying to see if it's D-A-I-J or D-A-J, Dodge. I'm going to respectfully, if it's okay with you, Dajlanslanji, however that is pronounced, I'm going to refer to your channel, or if that's your name, or both, if it's both, as Daj, if that's okay. Let me know if that's okay if I refer to your channel and or you that way. Daj. We got the best climate. Tell me about your climate. I would love to hear about Albania's climate. CR. That me, LOL. Maybe that was in reference to when I said CR is the gentleman as the channel's creative redundancy, or whatever I said. I'm just reading the chat, folks. Please try to be patient with me. We eat healthy foods, fresh foods. That is awesome. I assume you might be talking about in general. And if you mean everybody in Albania, you should mean that, because they probably have fast food garbage in Albania. They probably have highly processed foods. But perhaps the typical diet of the typical Albanian is healthy. That would be awesome if it's true. Fresh foods. Fresh is always best. And that is scientifically proven, because certain nutrients become less bioavailable over time. And or I'm going to use the word disappear, perhaps incorrectly, disappear over time. Fresh is best as far as nutrients. Hands down, do your own research. You can trust me and believe me if you want to. I recommend doing your own research anyways, but it's very interesting how, as the days and the weeks go by, I'm going to sum it up as foods are less nutritious. as time passes. And that's with at least some foods, to be specific and deliberate with my choice of words. Shawnee Grows, we built a new foundation at the garden property. We bought a farmhouse, new foundation at the garden property. Awesome. We bought a farmhouse. We are moving it to the new foundation tomorrow. See, I don't understand how that works. Great job with getting stuff done. I hope it's what you want. I assume it probably is what you want. It's a multi-step process. Takes 2 hours to drive 10 miles. Wow, as far as moving the house. I've seen that whoever move maybe homes, large buildings or buildings or whatever. It's pretty crazy how that gets done. Shawnee, did you see rains? No rain here. Ooh, sorry, no rain there. I have bailed like 100 of gallons of water now. I'm assuming you see what I meant. I've bailed like 100 gallons of water now. It's a lot of water. Yo, everybody, SEW in the chat. I'm assuming they might have meant say W in the chat. W, I know at least sometimes means win, correct? If that's what it means, let me know in the chat below. I'm going to go with W definitely means win, at least sometimes. If it has another meaning or meanings, please educate me. Let me know. Come on, let me know. This is helping me maintain the effort to keep going today. Not sure what you mean, CR, but please be safe, brother. Yep, it's a large house, and we will live at the garden by the end of the year. I assume that is awesome, at least for the one reason that it's going to be so nice to be closer to your garden. So whatever's happening, Shawnee, even if I don't fully understand it, I hope it is awesome for your family. I hope it's awesome for you, just in case I didn't include you actively. And when I said family, maybe that's why I said that. But I hope it's awesome for you and your family. And I hope you settle in very well. And I hope it just works out really great for you. I assume being close to the garden is going to be at least one, I would say, major win, major benefit. Creative redundancy, like-minded people. I'm not sure what that comment was about, but CR, thank you for staying active in the chat. See, I don't pretend to I don't just go, oh yeah, and have no clue what people mean. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be weird or anything. I just admit when I don't understand things. I would say most of the time I admit. Hopefully all the time. It's a dry summer and a moisture cold in winter. Dry summer sounds nice as far as not humid, if that's what you mean. Rain is nice, though. If you mean little or no rain in the summer, that's not good. Moisture cold in the winter, I assume that might be nice instead of having a dry winter when people get like dry skin and stuff. What fresh things are you growing at? I'm going to refer to that person and or their channel name as Daj. Green Tomato Plum wrote, hi. Welcome in, Green Tomato Plum. Folks, I'm going to step aside and help my wife's youngest son. Out of our two sons, 2 or 3 minutes max. I'll be right back. If you're a moderator, please do moderator stuff. Keep an eye on the chat, please. I'll be right back. I'm growing watermelon and cucumbers. That is awesome. I'm back. In action. Look at that. Still 5 accounts playing this. Thank you for whoever stayed. Vay's Place. Welcome in, Verna. What's up? All right. I'm going back in the chat. Watermelon and cucumbers, great. I got my tree figs. Fig trees, awesome. Grapes, nice. Greens Meadow Plum wrote silence. Well, I'm happy you stayed active in the chat by writing that. I got pumpkins. Awesome, awesome things you have growing there, Daj. And you, Shawnee Grows? Are anybody here? Me, LOL. Thanks, CR, for staying active in the chat. I was talking with NPC. Who's the NPC? I'm not an NPC. If you meant I'm an NPC. Wrote weird. Hi, creative. Hi. Where are you from? Shawnee Grows. Okay, so I have many perennial food areas. I have potatoes, onions, carrots, pumpkin, squash. I have 4-foot tall peas. Shawnee Grows is probably growing a lot of different things. I'm not going to read every comment. Dad wrote, "Are you a girl?" I wonder who that question was for. I am clearly not a girl, if that was a question for me. 8th like. Oh, awesome. Thank you to everybody who hit the like. My first goal was 7. Next goal is going to be 12. Let's go. Hit the like if you haven't already, folks, please. Tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, beans. Because all got disappeared. I'm assuming Dad meant disappeared. Everyone went away. Well, when I came back, I saw 5 channels still playing this. I am a female. Yes, Shawnee is a female. Beets, radish, lettuce, garlic, kale, chard. Verna. When I say Verna, folks, I'm talking about the person who has the channel Vay's Place. I'm growing borage, purple sweet potato, standard sweet potatoes, and bullseye beets. Oh, bullseye beets. I'm pretty sure I've heard of those before. Maybe seen a pictures. We might even have seeds for those. Bullseye beets. Very cool. Have you eaten those beets, Verna? I'm male, LOL. MALE, CR. But you might have meant to write MAIL. All right. Let's get to 12 likes, folks. Hey, I'm going to be going for at least a little longer here. I'll see how it goes. But share this out. Share this live stream out. Tell people. Stop by. Say hello. Join. Whatever. Share the live stream out, please. That would be awesome if you did that. If any of you did that. Verna wrote, CR, you are male. Not male. LOL. Can anybody hear at least one of our roosters? I hear at least one. I heard at least one. If you heard a rooster, write rooster in the comments. Are you married, man? If that question was for me, then yes, I am married. I am married. Very, very, very happily married to the most amazing person in the world. Tied with Madam Wife's 2 sons. My wife and our 2 sons, 3 most amazing people in the world. I'm an envelope of fun. CR, you're so silly, brother. JFD. All right. Verna has written a thing or things in the past, and she and or another person or people have explained what it means. That one, let me try to figure it out. or remember if I've ever learned it. JFD. I can't think of what that means. JFD. What does that mean? Somebody let me know, please. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. I have a question for all of you content creators. Content creators, listen up. Oh. Thank you for explaining that, Verna. So I have a question for all of the content creators out there. How can my wife and I help you on YouTube? Is there anything in particular you would like for us to do? Are you looking for watch hours? Would you like a live stream or something to be shared out? Um, how can we help you? Do you want us to comment on videos and get some conversation going or conversations going? What can we do to help the content creators playing this right now? Sorry to ask, but did you sniff something on the back because you are roosing your nose? I did not sniff anything. Um, was I doing that? Was I rubbing my nose? Maybe because it's a little cold? I'm not sure. Definitely did not sniff anything. And I'm moving constantly in the chair. Probably. It's a very comfortable, spring-like kind of a chair. It's comfortable. I've got a lot of energy. I've also got coffee. That might be at least partially why I'm moving on our spring-like chair, springy chair. Don't be offended. Well, here's the thing. Definitely 100% did not sniff anything. I don't sniff anything. Um, but even if I did, would I be like, uh, that's, I mean, I'm a very honest person. So if I did, maybe I would just admit it. But if someone was sniffing something, which they should not do unless it's some type of medicine they're supposed to take or something, if there's any medicine like that, that would probably make it awkward for them to call that out or mention that or whatever. Glad I prepared coffee because it's keeping me going right now. WB, Colin. Welcome back, Colin. Was a naive question. I might not know what you mean by naive, maybe like innocent question or whatever. It's fine. You could ask that. You can totally ask that. No sniffing here. I'm a high energy person in general. I'm a very passionate person. And this chair is really comfortable. Let me just. Oh, I've got so much energy. Yeah, let's go. I totally didn't sniff anything. That would be an interesting live highlight. What I just did. Imagine that. I maybe would even share that live highlight if that silliness I was just doing came up as a live highlight. Didn't sniff anything. Oh, yeah. Woo! I'm just crazy sometimes, folks. Chill, man. I'm not sure if that was about my craziness that I was just doing or if the chill man was about like they thought I was offended or something. You don't have to convince me. I might have been just responding to your question. Definitely you sniffed. Hey, everyone has the right to be wrong, so you could believe whatever you like. Just keep staying active in the chat. As long as you don't write anything bad, even though you arguably maybe have written a bad thing or bad things, written a bad thing or maybe written bad things. I'm going to say all maybe. Oh, that's all maybe. Now I am 100%. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Sniffing stuff. He does not use drugs. So I will say that's really wild to think someone sniffed something because they were sniffling and or rubbing their nose and or rocking in a chair. Like cocaine use, for example, is maybe more obvious than how I was obvious that the person's using cocaine than I don't want to say obvious as if I was doing it, than as if than how I was acting. I wouldn't automatically assume that because someone's rocking in a chair and sniffling or whatever, rubbing their nose, that they snorted something. No, I don't offend you. I don't understand what you mean, Daj. Not yet, Colin, but in a few days. How old are you? I am 32. I am 42, and I'm a relatively open book. An extremely private person, but at the same time, I'm a relatively open person. I am who I am. Some people like me, some people don't. And as far as people not liking me, it's not only okay that certain people don't like me, it's a great sign that certain people don't like me. I do not want to fit in with a degenerative, I don't want to fit in with a satanic, degenerative, mindless, sheep like culture. I definitely want to be different. Rooster. Oh, all right. So Verna heard a rooster because you disappeared. I'm assuming they meant disappeared, and you coming with rubbing your nose. Um, I went to go do a thing or things, which was not sniffing anything. People do leave live streams, and when they leave live streams, that does not automatically mean that they did drugs. And people do rub their noses on occasion. Maybe it feels good. Maybe it helps them breathe. Maybe they suffer from allergies. Maybe they have a runny nose. Maybe it's itchy. Maybe their nose is cold and they're just touching it because it's cold. J Dog? J Dog One Party wrote, J Dog is in the house. Welcome in, J Dog One Party. Happy you made it. Dad, you need to say who you are speaking to. I am not saying you are a bad guy. What was your age? Oh, I'm assuming you might have missed it when I said it. I am 42 years old. Bewitched comes to mind. That was like a TV show, right? Maybe they are sniffing. It might be strange that your brain went to that. Are you projecting? Do you sniff things, Daj? Vase place. You are close to being silenced. Who in here saves seeds? I'm not in here. I'm hosting the live stream, but I'll raise my hand. My wife and I save seeds. And our oldest son, he maybe has saved seeds. Our youngest son, I don't recall if he has ever saved seeds. Saving seeds is awesome. Everyone should save seeds. Seed R. I do, Shawnee. Dad wrote, no, man. I'm not sure what the no man was about, Dad. What was the no man that you wrote about, Dad? Dad, have you ever been to America? Have you ever been to America? Have you only lived in Albania your entire life? I heard and saw about some stuff happening in Albania recently. There was some protesting, might be considered rioting. I'll tread carefully about what I say. What vase places talking man? Did he respond for you? I think I'm not following at least some of what you're writing, Daj. What I done to be silenced? Well, it might have been, arguably, and I said might have been, arguably, weird and slash or rude to ask me if I was sniffing anything because I was rocking on the chair. I took a break to do whatever, and I rubbed my nose. I'm gonna go with it's at least strange. Yeah, that's strange. I was just asking you, what do you mean with that? I think I'm not following everything you're writing, Dad. And I think I'm not understanding everything you're writing. You are killing me. Yes, we got protests running. Oh, okay. I heard they are protesting against some evil people doing some evil things. I'll say it like that. If anybody wants to look that up, what's going on over there? Shawnee Grows. Ah, okay. I'm still doing the things here to be proactive. Great job, brother. Great job. Proactive is the way to be in emergency situations. And preferably proactive before emergencies even happen. Have plans. Have things. Have skills. Have knowledge. Proactive. Proactive is not just proactive is could be perhaps multifaceted, might be a way to describe what I'm about to say. A multifaceted approach. Have the plans, have the skills, have the knowledge, have the things, right? Whether that's emergency preparedness, aka prepping, gardening, business. Uh, you asked me if I got anywhere out of Albania. What's wrong with Albania? We are peoples like you. Verna sniffing that smoked beef. Civilized people. I did not say anything negative about Albanians, so I don't know what you're talking about. I communicated using whatever words that Albanians are protesting or doing whatever against some evil people doing evil things. I never said anything negative about Albanians in general. And actually, the people they're protesting to are people that are from outside Albania or protesting about. Yes, we got protests running. We are advanced like America. We got a lot of stuffs in here also. I may be the oldest one here. I am 68. You're young, Verna. I've never been to Albania. It might be a great country. Maybe it's not. I don't know. No, man. Oh, so you've only been in Albania for your whole life? Maybe that's what the no was about, as far as maybe going to America or whatever. Have you ever been to a country outside of Albania, Daj? Have you ever traveled to a different country? Heard it again, lol, right after you said my name. Oh, maybe Verna means the rooster. Are you here to talk and to answer? I'm not sure what you mean. I've been answering questions and I've been talking. Answering questions is also talking. It's alive. I am just asking. The wise one, they, not offending you. I think I'm not understanding everything you're writing about, Daj. I'm happy you're active in the chat. Daj, have you ever been to another country before? Have you ever experienced other cultures? No, only Albania. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I highly recommend traveling to a different country, preferably countries. You could learn a lot, learn about different cultures. It's awesome. I think it can develop people. I think I've never thought of traveling to Albania. I think there's so many other countries I would rather go to than Albania. Um, but it would be cool to go there. I am being only in Albania. Oh, okay. You should travel. You should go to a different country or countries. Especially being that you're in Europe. I mean, you've that's really easy, I assume. Well, actually, maybe I shouldn't assume that. Maybe it's difficult to travel in Europe nowadays. But yeah, if I lived in Europe, I would be maybe not now, but if I lived in Europe maybe 15 years ago or longer or further into the past, I probably would be traveling all over Europe if I lived in Europe back then. Europe's so cool because there's so many diverse cultures so close together. I saw that you are a nice guy. I think I'm a very nice guy. I think a lot of other people would say the same about me. Maybe there's a person or people who think I am not a nice guy. And that's okay. They can think that. That I am writing to you. Short break again. Don't burn out, CR. Take breaks when you think you should. But if you don't think you should take a break, you better get back to work, brother. Sniffling, sniffling, and rocking the chair. Oh, that was funny. I just being silly. Drinks coffee. Exactly correct, Colin. I'm not sure what that was about, Verna. If I wasn't secure that you are not nice, I was not writing or talking, you know? Hey, I'm happy you've been active in the chat. And as long as people don't ask anything that's bad, you could ask. Um, what you had asked about, that's questionable for me. That was weird, to say the least, I think. Um, Maybe considered bad as far as manners, etiquette, whatever. Um, but I answered. What type of guy I am to you, can I ask? I don't know you well enough to say what type of guy you are. But me, being honest, you seem like you might be strange, but you might be a nice guy. I don't know you. What's your opinion? I don't know you well enough. And I'm not one of those type of people to just lie. I rarely ever lie. And I don't know you well enough to give a solid opinion about you. I'm kind of confused. You seem like you might be a nice guy. Um, yeah, I don't know. Who needs a gym when it rains and snows here? I'll tell you what, shoveling snow is a straight up awesome workout. Awesome. Good for your posterior chain, such as your calves, your hamstrings, your erector spinae, which are the muscles along your lower back, your biceps, your rhomboids, your shoulders. It's a great, great workout. I'm seeing 9 likes. I would love to get 12 likes, which was my second goal for number of likes during this live stream. I would love to get 12 likes before I finish up. So if any of you are here and you have not hit the like, please do that. Please do that. I think I'm going to get some gardening done today. I am off of work today. And my to-do list is huge. Crazy, the amount of stuff that I want to get done. But when this live stream finishes, I'm going to hit the ground running and try to crush my to-do list. Or I'm going to change that to crush at least some of the things on my to-do list. But I see that you are angry, man. 1 or 2 seconds, you are just trolling about the question that I asked to you. When was I angry? Huh? Was I angry? I was joking and pretending like I was hopped up or whatever on whatever. Yes, Colin, no matter how old I am, I'm still young. That's right, Verna. That's right. That's right. I think that I am not writing anymore. Dadge, are you offended? Are you being sensitive? Don't be sensitive, Dadge. Don't be sensitive. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. You asked a weird question, in my opinion. I think you had a really negative assumption. And actually, now that I think about it, you actually even wrote 100%, like definitely, or one or more of those, one or both of those things about me doing a horrible, horrible thing that I did not do. So that is messed up. So yeah, I'm come to the conclusion that it was weird and it was rude to write something like that. I was just being nice talking with you. I got manners. I argue you do not have good manners. To tell a stranger that you don't know because they did some simple, innocent things that you think they're doing drugs, that is not good manners. And maybe in Albania, they have different idea of what manners means, but in America, we don't do things like that. And you also wrote, like, definitely, and / or wrote 100% that I did a horrible thing that I did not do. So that's not good manners. In America, we shouldn't do things like that. Dadge. No, you are good, man. Gold medals. Interesting. Dad, you're I'm gonna use the word interesting person. You're an interesting person. Dad, I recommend you travel. I recommend you travel. You're 32 years old. I think you should travel. I think you should go to other countries and don't spend your entire life in one country. Go to other countries. Learn about what's socially acceptable in other countries, which, by the way, socially acceptable doesn't necessarily mean that it's good. But learn about other cultures. Learn how other cultures converse, how they communicate. Learn about the differences in manners between countries. I'm not a sensitive guy, but I am sincere. Oh, you wrote something about, I think I am not writing anymore. Maybe you were being sensitive. If I claimed you were sensitive, then I take that back. I think I might have just asked if you were being sensitive. You seem like you might be sincere. You seem like you might be a sincere guy. What I would like you to do, Dadge, is I would like you to subscribe to mine and my wife's channel. And I would like you to watch all of our videos. And I would like you to like every video and comment on every video. Leave a nice comment. That will show me that you are selfless, kind, and supportive. And if not every video, then at least some videos. Do you have content on your channel, Daj? Small countries like Albania not traveling out of their country would be like us that have never left their state. Yes, exactly, Verna. That is exactly, and I that might be directly and slash or indirectly what I was trying to communicate earlier, which is if you're in Europe, you're like a stone throw. I'm exaggerating, away from other countries. That would be like growing up in Ohio your entire life and never ever going to Pennsylvania or Virginia or New York. Like, it's good to get out there. And Americans as well. America, there are very, very different subcultures in America. So different, I would argue that it's almost like, or like, perhaps, going to a different country. Like Northeast, New York culture is wildly different than the culture here in Missouri. Wildly different. And I would say most of the ways that it's different are bad ways. And I'm saying that as a person who's born and raised in New York. I think the subculture here in Missouri is, my opinion, overall superior to the subculture in New York, specifically the five boroughs on Long Island. There are certain things that I think are better about New York subculture than Missouri. But it's nice to have experienced both. It just makes you more sophisticated. It gives you more wisdom, more knowledge, wisdom and slash or knowledge, to travel to different states and different countries if you can. You are right in one point, man. I think I was right probably about almost everything or everything I said in this live stream. But perhaps you're talking about a point that I had made to you directly. In the beginning, I was just trolling with that question. Oh, so you were trolling. But now I see that you are smart, man. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Even if that wasn't a direct compliment, I will take it as you wrote a kind thing, so thank you. I personally think that Daj is a young man, very young. I think Daj. Oh, Verna. You might be onto something. I don't recall if it was Cameraman Brown or Brown Cameraman, whatever the channel name was, or screen name, username, whatever, or if it was Daj who wrote that they are 32. I can say that was a little provoking, you, but you are okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. That I think that's cool that you wrote that, Daj. I think you might be all right. Daj, how old are you? I don't recall if you had answered, if that was someone else who answered earlier. Verna is 28 years young. I am 42 years young. How old are you, Daj? You may have answered that earlier. I don't recall if that was you or someone else. But you might be a young person. Like Verna had written about. You might be a young person. Looks like it's been stuck at 9 likes for some time now. That's okay. I'm thankful for every like that we got. I'm thankful for every single one. I'm going to finish this up, folks. I have a lot I would like to accomplish today. It really would be nice if the sun came out. It looks like that might not happen. It's all good. Hey, it's relatively cool compared to how it has been lately, so this might be a great opportunity to do some things outside and not sweat very much. I am 32. Okay, so that was you who mentioned that earlier. Still here listening on our break. Thank you, CR, for keeping this playing and for commenting. I have never seen you angry. I would like sun too, LOL. I don't think I've ever, actually, maybe I have in a live stream or live streams. And if I ever was angry in any live streams, it might be because people were being rude, trolling, disrespectful, whatever. Maybe one or more of those things. But I, in real life, have a very bad temper. A lot of people don't know that about me. I have a very, very bad temper. Something I struggle with, to be honest. And when I was younger, I would say at least 10 years ago and earlier, I would be inclined to not necessarily always engage in violence. Um, I've been in fights and have the scars to prove it. Um I've been in handcuffs more times than I would like to admit. I was frequently, almost always or always, eager and willing to argue with people and get physical if I wanted to. I'm still eager and willing to get verbal with people and correct them. But I consider myself a very, very nice guy. I do not deal with disrespect. Um, I don't accept disrespect. And I speak my mind and I confront people directly. That includes looking people square in their eyes and having those awkward conversations. That's how I am. I've been that way for probably most of my life. Um, but I am absolutely the type of friend that people should want to have because I'm loyal. I've got people's backs. I try to stand for morality. I am who I am. I can get angry too. I salute you all in the chat, especially Holistic. Thank you. It was a nice conversation. Thank you. See, Dad, you seem like you actually are pretty cool, or you are pretty cool. And sometimes to be fair, everybody listening, reading things, there's no tone. There's no tonality or whatever. So it's hard to understand how people mean things. If they're trolling, if they're joking, if it's an innocent question, it's hard to understand how people mean things. Arguably impossible to know. Text messages, emails, writing things are not the best ways to communicate. My advice is that all peoples need to be chilled and respectful with anyone. Everyone should be respectful with everyone. As far as being chill, that could have different connotation for different people. Certain people in certain situations should not be dealt with in a chilled manner. Like people being wrongfully violent, wrongfully rude, whatever. Um, Maybe they should not be dealt with in a chilled manner, but respect should always, at least initially, be given. Always, at least initially. If you give someone respect and they don't return the respect, then the construct of respect might go out the window, for me at least. If people don't extend the courtesy of respect to me, I am not inclined to give respect in perpetuity and in continuity. There's a certain time and there's a certain point where I'm just like, all right, you don't respect me, so I'm not going to respect you. Hence I write or JK into. I subscribed, man. You earned it. Boom. Thank you so much for doing that, Daj. Don't take anyone serious, especially the first meeting. Well, maybe sometimes, but I do tend to take first meetings or first impressions seriously, or at least partially take it seriously, because a person can, you can learn a lot about somebody with your first interaction or interactions with them. I have been in many states. However, I will finish with or add on to that. Um, Tread carefully because you might meet somebody and your first interaction with them might not be a nice interaction. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're stressed. Maybe they just lashed out at you. I mean, you don't know. Their dog could have died that day. They could be dealing with horrible nightmare stress, nightmare level stress. So give grace. Be compassionate. Try to be understanding. But do not be a footstool for anybody. Do not let people step all over you. Do not let people bully you. Do not let people disrespect you. That's my advice. But yeah, first impressions, they matter. But do not think you have a person figured out just based on first impressions. You might have a lot of them figured out from a first impression, but keep certain things in mind that I had mentioned before when you're assessing people. Well, back to taming the beast again. Take care, proactive. I've been in many states. Going to different states is like going to different countries. That's awesome that you've been to many states. And yeah, America is so diverse, so many different subcultures, and geographically so different. I mean, we have deserts in America, we have like tropics or subtropics, maybe both in America. I mean, America is so diverse in more than one way. Hey, Vase Place, no hard feelings. You was about to ban me. Not ban, but put in a timeout. We are good, Vase Place. Are we good, Vase? It was Dadge that said 32. Okay, thanks for writing that, Verna. Well, you wrote young, and at first I didn't remember who wrote 32. So maybe, Verna, you missed it earlier when they first wrote 32. There's some mosquitoes around here, and they're annoying. Maybe it's because it rained recently. Oh, mosquitoes are so annoying. But as far as my temper, going back to that, I at times really do try to be better. I really do try to control myself and be better. And it's something I really have to work on. First and foremost, most importantly, I'm going to pray for God to give me the strength to control my temper and yeah, be better. I think in life is about never settling down with just how you are and accepting it. Well, I'm going to correct that. Accept how you are, accept reality. But until the moment I take my last breath, I'm going to try to be a better person. Think of it this way as a positive thing. As you age, this means you've had more time to get better. You gain wisdom, more time to get better, more time to just work on self improvement. I think what happens with a lot of people, and I'm confident this is true, I could be incorrect. I think what happens with a lot of people is they stop growing and stop working on self improvement once they hit their 40s, maybe. In the people in their 30s, I have read and or have heard that that is actually a popular time for people to work on self improvement. I think that's a big market of consumers for self improvement books, motivational stuff, things like that. Is people in their 30s, they've have enough of life under their belt that they know a certain amount, they've acquired some wisdom, and they want to like be successful. And a lot of success has to do with building your character, being a better person, being a good person, being hardworking, and different things. And I think there's still a certain amount of malleability psychologically for people to make changes and develop great habits in their 30s. The older you are, if you've had certain bad habits for your whole life and by the time you're in your 40s, it's arguably tougher to break those habits. But I encourage everyone who's listening to this before I finish up, never stop learning. Only God knows all. Only God is omniscient. Always work on self-improvement. Don't be stubborn 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds and think you have life figured out. You don't. You absolutely don't. And don't just be like one of those people who's like, I am how I am. That's it. You can't change me. You can't teach an old dog new tricks or whatever the expression is. Don't be like that. Please. There's so many people that just get stuck in their ways. And by the time they're in their 40s, they're just like, are totally fine with being horrible. Don't. Be better. Always. Until you die. That's my unsolicited advice. Let me read the chat and then I'll finish up. here is 22 p.m. the clock. So that is 22, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. It's evening. I think that we would consider that to be night, as Americans would call that night. Maybe everybody around the world considers that night. 10 p.m. I think that's night. Daj, I didn't silence you for 5 minutes, so we are okay. Verna keeps an eye on the chat, folks. Verna is an active moderator. Thank you, Verna, for being vigilant. Nice, Phase. Yeah. You got to control your temper holistic because a lot of bad people's around. Oh, I know I've got to control my temper. And at times I do. I mean, maybe most or all the time I do. If I just let myself go to how I'd want to be, I'd probably be in jail or prison right now. So yeah, I control my temper. There's times I snap, I lose it at least a little bit, and I say things I shouldn't say, maybe do things I shouldn't do. But I'm a very angry person at times. I'm just being honest. I'm a very passionate person in general. And morality is very important to me. And I think when people do horrible things, I react very strongly to it. I've been that way for most of my life, maybe all of my life that I could remember. No one here is to attack anyone in the real life, not in here, Vase. I might not be understanding a thing or things written in the chat. First impressions are usually most accurate. I think that might be true. I think that might be true. And instinct is powerful, right? You ever just get feelings from people? Whether people realize it or not, there are, and I won't get too deep into this. I do want to finish this live stream, but one last thing, or less things maybe. What your brain is doing, the brain is similar to a computer. And there are things happening in your brain so fast, subliminal, subconscious, that you don't even realize how and why you have certain thoughts about people. But your brain is noticing what's called oculesics, eye movement, kinesics, body movement, tone. There's all this information coming in, and however much of that information is being processed on a subconscious level. And then you end up with the feeling and slash or a thought or whatever about a person. It might come off as you're just like, you have no reason to think that. But let me tell you, your brain is working and your brain is processing information. So I think it might be true that usually first impressions are correct. But again, like I said, sometimes people have bad days and whatever. But even then, when they have bad days, you can learn a lot about how somebody deals with their bad day, or their bad days. I will say, and you folks can think this is cocky, arrogant, whatever you want to think about it. I strongly, strongly believe I have a very high social intelligence. And I think however much of that is just my genetics, probably, however much of it's probably my genetics, however much of it is my experiences in life, dealing with people, being a martial arts teacher. I've taught people things, and different things I've done in my life. Growing up in New York, growing up specifically in my family, my dad's side of the family, very passionate, very aggressive at times, argumentative, frequently argumentative and different things. You gotta like stand up for yourself. So it's certain, so I'll start over. I assume my social intelligence, however much that is genetic from just how my brain is. I also think that however much of my social intelligence comes from my life experiences. I also think I've learned some things as far as learning, research about assessing people, things like that. But hey, that's my opinion. I believe my wife completely agrees with me, and people that know me well think that I do have a very high social intelligence. I can pretty accurately assess people pretty quickly. And I could at times know things about people that they don't even know about themselves, I think. Maybe for the last thing I said, maybe I can know things about people that don't even know about themselves. I think that has definitely happened. Maybe now as I think about it more. And social intelligence is priceless and very, very useful in certain aspects of life, like sales, for example. Um, yeah, navigating friendships, social intelligence is so important. And there are certain things you can learn related to social intelligence, having to do with social intelligence, that can be very useful to know. I'm going to have to play with my PS5. I got a new game. All right, well, have fun. Don't spend too much time playing video games. Daj, were you the one who was talking about gardening earlier? I think that was. I think I was going to say something like, Dad, you should garden instead. Or maybe I was going to say something like that. But actually, I think I remember you actually were talking about different crops, different plants that you're growing. I think that was actually, that might have been you, or it might have been someone else earlier in the chat. Verna, Verna, you're awesome. Verna, I'm telling you, you and I are so like-minded. I did not even read your comment about do some gardening, and I was already thinking that about writing something like that or that to Dad. Oh, that's funny, Verna. You and I were on like the same page there, same wavelength. My favorite state was Arkansas. I think maybe I've been, and I think, and my wife was with me. Our older son was with us, and I think our youngest son was maybe not. I think he was not born yet. Could be incorrect. Might have very briefly on a train ride gone into Arkansas. I don't consider that exploring Arkansas. And we might have crossed over into Arkansas on a train ride. My wife, our older son, and myself. And again, maybe our youngest son was with us. But I've never actually like explored Arkansas. And I have had so many people since I've been in Missouri tell me to go to Arkansas, how beautiful it is. I've seen videos of how beautiful Arkansas is. I've heard some phenomenal things about Arkansas. And I'm happy you mentioned that, Verna. That's a reminder to me to try to maybe set up a family trip to go to Arkansas this summer. As of yesterday, it's officially summer. So yes, summer. I'm going to try to go to Arkansas with my wife and our two sons this summer. I'm going to try to make it happen. It's night, Vase. Oh, yeah. I think 10 p.m. over there. Dad, what are you saying? I'm not sure if the what are you saying was to Verna or to me. Nope, even at my age, I'm still working on myself. Good for you, Verna. Good for you. And Verna, you're 28 years old, so you have a whole life ahead of you to self-improve. Yes, I growing, but is night. Can I work at night? Play now that I got free time? Dad, if you're being responsible and working hard in life and doing great things, then sure, play a video game, have some fun, man. If I say man, that's maybe familiar speech. I'm just how I talk at times. Not trying to be too comfortable, too familiar. Not trying to be disrespectful. It's part of my speech. But don't spend too much time playing video games. There's so many other productive things to do in life, so many other better things to do in life. And I would say mindless or relatively mindless, or even if it's mentally engaging, video games, escapes like that are beneficial and arguably productive at times. But just don't be that type of person to spend 20 plus hours a week playing video games. Life is too short to spend that much time doing that. There's better things to do with your time. I'm just constantly giving advice, folks, life advice. It's what I do. It's one of the things I do. Salute you all. We be talking later. Dad, thanks for subscribing, and you ended up to be pretty cool. Thanks for staying active in the chat. Thank you for staying active in the chat regarding your normal comments or nice comments. One or more of them might be questionable. I think weird, at least to me. And I think at least one of them was rude. But you did a very cool thing, which was you talked it out. And I respect that. I respect that. I'm happy you made it here, Daj. And please watch my wife's videos. Support. I hope you join future live streams. This live stream being just the hangout chat session. We didn't really get into anything in particular too much or a lot, but I say learn something new every day. Yes. Absolutely. Very smart, Verna. I absolutely agree. Salute to all. We'll be talking later. Thanks for the advice, Vase. Good night. Have a great night, Daj. Have a blessed night, Daj. Thanks, and you, Vase. Bye, all. All right, I'm going to finish up. I've got plenty of things that I want to get done. This was a lot of fun. This live stream was a lot of fun. And thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody who hit the like. Thanks to everybody who stayed active in the chat. And my request for this live stream is please share one of my wife's videos out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Please share at least one of our videos, preferably a newer video, like within 2 months, maybe 2 months old or newer, please. And if you do that, please let me know in a comment section of one of our videos or in a future live stream that we have that you did that. Let me know that you did that after, if any of you do that after you did that. Verna, I'll be stopping by your channel. I visited you earlier, actually, through a comment your way, gave you a like. I'll be stopping by your channel soon, hopefully to give you some support. And hey, anybody playing this right now, thank you for all the support to whoever has helped us during this live stream and besides this live stream. If you've ever helped my wife and I in any way with our YouTube channel, thank you so much. Not including the help that happens from negative comments. Even though it helps our channel, I don't want to thank anybody for anything bad that they have written. In any live stream, in any video, I don't want my thank you to be about any bad thing written or bad things written. I'm going to go, and I had fun. I had a lot of fun during this live stream. Take care, everybody. And first and foremost, as always remember, always know that God is great. Take care.